Yo, Chris,
Hmm.
you know how we always say on the pod, like at the end of the pod, you know what I'm saying, stay geeked. Like it's another week, stay geeked type beat, you know?
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if everybody knows what that actually means. Like, you know what it means, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I know what it means. But do the audience know what it means? So if they don't know, they finna find out because today is the Geeked Awards 2022.
All right, I see what you did. I see what you did.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna get into it because, man, all year we've been going over movies, TV shows, and even some animated stuff. So we gotta cap the year off with a little recap and give out people's flowers, man, because people deserve it. Usually with award shows they wait until like the next year, but nah, we're doing something a little bit different. I feel like this is a great way to cap the year off, and me and Chris been doing this since like August,
June, August. Okay.
June, August, like the summer,
July.
July, yeah, like officially. So I feel like this is super dope because it's our first time doing it together. I did something like this before, just like on my own channel, and it was fun. But I feel like this is gonna be even better because when you put two minds together, it's always better than one. And I'm excited for the conversations we finna have because the pre show was interesting. It was
Yeah.
interesting coming up with all these nominations and stuff like that.
Too much brain power.
Yeah, like it was like, man, like we probably should have recorded that too, just like as a little sneak peek, because that joint was pretty funny. But I'm super excited to get into this thing. I think this is episode 78. I'm pretty sure. And we're getting it out before the new year. Next year, I'm not sure when we'll be back, but when the movies start dropping, you'll see us. So let's get into the first nominations for Best Picture. You know what I'm saying? Most Geek Picture, man. These are the nominations. We got Avatar. We got Everything All at Once. We got Top Gun, The Batman, and The Woman King. So, Chris, man, out of this, like, five, which one like sticks out to you as like, dang, I didn't think that was gonna be on there.
Uh, Deep down,
Yeah.
I didn't think the Batman would be up there,
Mm-hmm.
but after seeing it, I knew it was gonna be like a top 5 movie. But
Okay.
but the beginning of the year, I was like, the Batman, I'm not that excited to see it. So I'm
Mhm.
glad to see that it's up here. And Top Gun, I mean, 20 plus years, maybe
Yeah.
a remake that's deserving to be up here in the Geek Awards for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And Everything Everywhere All at Once was so surprising. Like
Okay.
that movie was a surprising one. So these are some worthy movies you got up here.
Yeah. We got up here because I ain't come up with this list alone. But
Mhm.
I'd say for me, it was definitely like The Woman King, just because I just didn't expect like I expected it to be good, but I just wasn't expecting it to be like a top 5 movie this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've watched that joint multiple times and it gets better every single time. Like I really, really enjoy that story and just the overall like movie. Because like I think like with these movies, like you got other than Everything All at Once, like pound for pound, you got a 13-year hiatus with Avatar. Then you got, like you said, 20-year hiatus with the sequel to Top Gun. Like, and then the Batman, like, DC's most loved character, and it's like, dang, like you just wouldn't expect it because it kind of came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it got Viola Davis in it, so it's like it's still must see. But it's just like I was super excited that I was like, dang, this joint is really like that. But other than that, I think for me, like for most most Geek Picture, a lot of times it comes down to like, did it deliver?
Okay.
Like did it really deliver? And for me, it came down to Avatar and Batman. Like as
Oh,
far as like like, you know, who delivered the most, right? Because like both of these are kind of like legacy type things. And then like, everything all at once for me has a lot more recency bias just because I saw it the most recent versus like Batman, which I haven't seen since like it came out in the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? So like all those things went into like, the decision. But I mean, how do you feel like the recency of some of these movies versus like, because a lot of these came out, pretty early in the year. Like,
yeah. I want to say like those everything Top Gun, Batman are all the beginning of the year, and the Woman
yeah.
King is like almost in the middle, maybe
Hmm.
maybe September-ish.
Yeah.
But I mean, always seeing a movie right a few months ago, it always you remember a little bit better of it.
Hmm.
But to be honest, all of these movies are memorable movies of the year.
Yeah.
And I do think even going into next year, we'll still remember every single one of these movies for a while. So
Right. And a lot of these, I'm just like waiting for them to come to streaming type beat, so I could just, like
yeah,
watch them.
just watch it again.
Yeah,
Like all
cause
of these are must watch multiple times.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So let's get into the actual winner of this thing, man. We got Avatar: The Way of the Water,
The
most
blue
geek picture.
people.
That's right, that's right. 13 years in the making, bruh. Like, I mean, we
I
just
know some people shocked. I know some people like, ain't no way.
because we just did an episode on it, and like you could tell from that episode, like, yo, we really really like this movie, man. And I think it came down to just like, how it just wasn't repetitive, and wasn't like, it was just different again, but it was like we're home, like, you know what I'm saying. Like it gave me that type of vibe. So like, what for you like solidified this joint as like most geek picture?
To be honest, overall, I think it's an enjoyable movie. I think
Hmm.
going to the movie theaters, this is the type of movie you want to see at a movie theater. I think
Right.
you can rewatch it and still look at different things that look very, very good. The story is not the strongest story in the world, but it's still a good story. It's still a feel good home family story. And it's a sequel to a movie that's been gone for like 13 plus years, like you said.
Yeah.
So for them to be able to grow upon that on a
Hmm.
movie that I really didn't think was ever gonna get a sequel
Right.
or just needed a sequel, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's overall one of the best movies I've seen. And then we're not even
Nice.
talking about how it looks. It
Right.
looks otherworldly.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And we talked about it. One of the scenes, it felt like water done dripped onto my pants during the movie. I was like, what is happening? Is
Yeah.
the theater leaking? So it's just very memorable. It's
Right.
very enjoyable. And I just feel like this is definitely one of the movies everyone would have to see
Yeah. Like at
in
least once.
2022.
Like at
Yes.
least once. You got to give it a chance. Cuz like I know like the 4 hour like cap is like a
We
big thing. Like it's a
they're gonna have a
commitment.
9-hour version in 2023.
Right, right. So it's like that's a whole commitment, but seeing it and then seeing it with the laser 3D joint, it was like, oh nah, this is different. This is
And even
this
the
is so
action
different.
is surprisingly very good.
Right, right. And it makes up for like, Jake Sully not being Jake Sully that we
Yeah.
once knew. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it,
But
it, it
that
definitely is not the strong, like the story is not like the strongest bang,
right.
but it does have some emotion. It does have a good story.
Yeah.
And just overall as a movie,
Yeah.
I think this deserves it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's
Hey,
why
we
I
did it.
said, yeah.
Get us in the comment section.
So, I mean, we did the movie. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to get into the TV shows because we did cover a lot of this, a lot of movies and a lot of shows this year. But I feel like for us, like it was different doing like week to week. You know what I'm saying, with shows, and it's a lot of fun because like, especially when you like kind of you skip a week and then you get to just go in on it. Like that was probably like one of my favorite like runs in this year. But let's get into these nominations, man. So we got Andor, we got
Mhm.
Atlanta, House of the Dragon, Snowfall, and The Boys. And I gotta say, Chris,
Nice.
banger after banger after banger. If you know that commercial, you know that commercial. But I loved all of these shows, man. This was a great year for TV. Movies,
It was a great year for TV
eh,
shows, actually. Wow.
yeah. Like if you really think about it, like they really went in because like one thing I just remembered, like there was no Marvel on the movie list. No Marvel.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And there's no Marvel right
Wow.
here.
Congrats, DC.
I know,
Congrats. Yeah.
like, but it's
They
just
did.
like,
They did get Star Wars up there though, so that's
yeah.
nice.
So we got some Disney stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, let's just get straight into it, man. Andor, sleeper, the most slept on show this year until I feel like a lot of people started it, but a lot of people didn't finish it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then with Atlanta, it was the final season, and the third season was real iffy. Like it was like cool to see them, take us out of Atlanta and like into a new environment and just see how all the different characters pretty much like react to them and just like, experience like a different country type beat. And then it was like, like Germany at that, I think. So or Amsterdam. I'm not sure. It was like a European tour. But um that was amazing. I'm gonna skip House of the Dragon because y'all already know how we feel about House of the Dragon. Snowfall, I watched all of Snowfall last year, so like it kind of all runs together for me. Same thing with The Boys because I didn't watch none of those
Yeah.
up until this year because I just got Hulu. So like Hulu showing out, you know what I'm saying, on this list. But I really, really enjoy both of those shows because like Snowfall is like it's just like a good story. You know what I'm saying? Like it got me conflicted a little bit because of just like the subject matter and just like dang, it started off like I was hype for everything that was happening. It was getting money and stuff like that, but now families in turmoil, people getting murked. It's like so crazy, bro. And I'm excited for the final season to come out next year. And then The Boys is just ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
probably the most ridiculous show I ever seen in my life, bro. No cap, no cap. But like,
Yeah.
Chris, what she got about this? Because I just kind of went in.
Definitely House of the Dragons. It was one of those things that I was excited to watch the first episode because
Mm,
Game of Thrones just left such a bad taste in my mouth, and
right,
I was very impressed by it
right.
because that last season of Game of Thrones, I was excited, and I was like, okay, they got 5 more episodes, they got 4 more episodes, and I was like, oh man, they got 3 more episodes, and I was like,
Yeah,
two more episodes. How are they gonna turn this around? So House of the Dragons, I'm definitely glad they came back with it, and it
yeah,
was amazing. The Boys, like you said, is probably one of the most ridiculous shows I've ever seen, and that's just what makes it amazing.
yeah,
I, I never know what I'm gonna see when I watch that show.
yeah.
And then when I see it, I'm like, how they get away with this? Like what was the mindset going into these
Who wrote this?
episodes?
Yeah,
Yeah, who wrote this? And it's just so interesting, so amazing. I just want to know more every time the boys comes back.
yeah. And it's like
So
Homelander is just ridiculous, bro. Like it
he
was like,
is.
and like just like
Like
the year
character, story, history, everything. It's just so interesting.
politics, like the year we had too was like
Yeah.
wild. How like eerie it felt watching the show when I was
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, how are they doing this? Like it's like they had superpowers, man. But that's all I got to say pretty much on it because I think like this year for TV, I feel like this was probably a harder list than the movies, just because it's a lot of good TV that happened this year too. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying that we didn't include on
Yeah, I
this,
definitely
but
think the series got the movies.
hmm for
I think they
sure,
do.
for sure. But you want to announce the winner, man?
Yeah. And the most geek series goes to the House of the Dragon. Hey,
Hey.
House of Dragon, that's what it's called. That's the title.
That's facts. That's
And
facts.
and to be honest, me and you are arguing about this because this was tough.
Yeah,
But for me, I just feel like they done did the impossible bringing us back to Westeros in the Game of
yeah,
Thrones universe. Because To be honest, after that Game of Thrones ended, all the hype just died. Everyone was like, "Hey, you know what? They messed up that last season. That's it. Ain't no one
Right.
talking about no dragons no more or none of that." And this series drops. It goes crazy. Everyone's talking about what's gonna happen. We have a little grow up first 5 episodes, then we grow up into the future.
Yeah.
We have a series going crazy. uh, Actually, good acting
Yeah.
and actual good storytelling. It
Right.
made me feel like, wow, we're back to a TV show that is carefully thinking about the plot, people scheming again, and potential future of what's gonna happen. And then we got dragons left and right. Like it took forever seasons to get dragons,
Yeah.
and we get dragon like every other episode.
Right.
So it definitely got me geeked the most as a series. What about you, G?
Bro, if you was to tell me that a show was gonna have like 50 time skips, I probably would have thought it was gonna be bad, bro. Like I'm
Bad.
gonna be honest, because the way they handled the time skips in this joint showed me a lot, and I was like taken aback. I was like, yo, not only did they get a good first cast, first good duo, but they kept doing it,
They
and it,
kept doing.
I was like, bro, no way, you know, and the way that like the cast like it was just so believable, you know, like I don't know what it was like as far as like casting, but you know, Olivia Cook showed up, Emma Darcy, like everybody was going crazy in this show. And I think for me, it was just the possibilities, you know, because it's different when you go from like Game of Thrones and you're just, you know, pretty much watching the story till its end versus like starting in the beginning, like after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if this show came out and then Game of Thrones came out, like it'd be a totally different feeling. But because we
yeah,
got Game of Thrones first, our expectations for the show is like through the roof, you know?
yeah.
And like for me, I'm not one of those Game of Thrones fans that like was super mad at the end just because like I watched it all the way through. Like Game of Thrones had already been out for like years by the time I actually got to it. So I was able to watch it through fully, and for me like going straight from season 7 to season 8, like it wasn't as like wild of like, yo, what are they doing? Like I still didn't like really, there's still parts of it like I was just like, why did they do that? But like it was a more seamless transition than like waiting years for something to come out and then that's what you get. So I get the sentiment, but you know, for me it didn't hit as hard, so like I was still just as hyped for this. Like my skepticism I
That's
don't feel
good.
like wasn't as high, you know.
Yeah,
But you know, first episode they just blew me out the water, so I was just like, oh yeah, we back for
yeah.
this one. But you know, I think that's all I got for this, but I really enjoyed this show, and it was definitely hard to choose it because there was a lot of good shows that came out this week. But I feel like if we're going like based on like, cause we try to watch like all the same stuff, but some stuff we just can't get to because it's a lot of
Hmm.
stuff. We both had our One Piece arc this year,
Hmm.
and you know I felt like pound for pound. I keep saying that, but pound for pound, like House of Dragons, definitely the most geek series this year, man. Most geek series. So let's get into the next one because this is the one. This is the one. This is probably the hardest hardest category to get into, the most geek actor, man. So let's get right into it. So coming up with this list, man, was really difficult because
Impossible.
like there was a lot like, don't get us wrong, like all of the people that are nominated for this award are great, right? But the caliber of movies that came out this year was definitely like had its highs and its lows. You know what I'm saying? Like we said earlier, like TV was a lot stronger this year than movies. You know, because like Marvel had a lot of duds. You know, and there was just a lot more. You know, women that was carrying the backpack this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So coming up with this list was very difficult, but we did it anyway. So let's get right into these nominations, man. First we got Anthony Starr from uh The Boys, you know, Homelander. We got Brad Pitt from Bullet Train, and then we got Christian Bale from Amsterdam, Damson Idris from Snowfall, and of course Tom Cruise from blanking on it. Top Gun Maverick. Yeah. So a tough list, man. A tough list.
Where's Rock at? Where's Dwayne Johnson? No, I was kidding.
I mean, I feel like for Black Adam, bro, like it's one of those things where his character doesn't lend to him, you know, having like the most lines. So the lines that he did have were definitely good, but I feel like all of these characters had moments, you know what I'm saying? Or like, for instance, like Christian Bale really embodied a quirky character that, like, Amsterdam was like a movie, like one of my most like slept on movies, because I didn't know what to expect. It had a lot of names in it, but like I just didn't know what to really expect when I went into it. So like that was like a really great surprise, and it was just like, dang, like, nah, Christian Bale is really like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's really like that. And then Dancing Idris with Snowfall, like Franklin Saint, like it's like a real person. It seemed like it felt like with him, like it's just like, yo, like I know this guy for some reason, you know what I'm saying? And one of like the moments from the past season that I use like in my videos all the time was like a scene from one of the later episodes in the season where he's like having a conversation with himself, like he's tripping off of some type of hallucinogen that got mixed in with the chocolate fountain, you know. I think it was LSD, and like, you know, a lot of more people had better reaction to it than him, but he was having like a whole like panic attack, and it was just like one of the best performances I had seen this year, and I just love that moment. Tom Cruise, obviously, you know, freaking Top Gun. Like, you gotta put Top Gun Maverick in that joint, because it's just like the way they ended the story, his character growth throughout it. For me, Brad Pitt, Bullet Train was so good, bro. It was so good, and I love his character.
Yeah, you love Brad Pitt and Bullet Train.
Yeah, and you know, and a lot of the stuff, we had episodes about it too. So if you want to go back and listen to it, we definitely cover it. And then Homelander, sleeper, because when we even came up with the list originally, I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, wasn't even thinking about The Boys. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm better. Like, he did it. He became a meme, bro. Like, that's the whole meme. And just like, you know, when you look at these characters and then look at the actors, you gotta really take an appreciation for like who they become when they're acting, bro. And I think Anthony Starr is definitely somebody that does that, like, and embodies a character, just like, yo, like off camera, it's like, yo, I don't know. like I seen clips of like behind the scenes and he's just regular, and I'm just like, I can't trust you. Well, I know it's a character, but it's just like, man, like it personifies like what it could be. So like, Chris, what did you think about this list, man? Because we had a tough time coming up with it.
It was a tough time, just because I do think all these actors are very good in their roles.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, for me, there wasn't really one that had like, that was one of the most amazing scenes I'd ever seen, like, all year type thing. That was like the only downside. So it's like, okay, we're going with a lot of great performances compared to like two that had amazing performances.
Right.
And like, Tom Cruise is getting old. I mean, that's clear as day. But even in Top Gun Maverick, it was a good like redemption story compared to like the young Maverick, and seeing like the old Maverick type thing. So it's just a lot of it's all great performances, but I wouldn't really say any of them had
the moment,
a performance that was like a moment that I was like, dang, that's the best actor I seen. So.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. So let's get into the winner, man. The winner for most
Oh,
geeked actor is Anthony Starr, man. Anthony Starr, the TV guy.
ah.
The TV done taking over the Geeked Awards, man. So I think just for, you know, how crazy
Yeah,
Homelander is.
for our safety,
Yeah.
you know.
I ain't scared of this man. He ain't real. It's like, no.
He gonna be like, wait a minute, I saw that post. Zoop.
Nah. But just like the, because I initially like antagonists in shows, a lot of times I don't look at them as like the main guy or the main girl type thing. A lot of times I think of them as like supporting actress and supporting actors when it comes to like, breaking it down into categories. So this never really came to mind because like when I was thinking of like, oh, who's the main character in The Boys, I'm thinking, what's his name?
Huey.
Not Huey, the other guy.
Oh,
Dang, I can't think of his name though.
yeah, the other dude. That's
The other dude. the guy that he was fighting with, you know what I'm saying? Billy. Is it Billy? Butch.
Butch. Yes.
Butcher.
Butcher. There you go.
Butcher, yeah.
I think it's that.
I think it's that. All right. If it's not, y'all correct us in the comments. But yeah, like when I think of that, I'm thinking it's like the good guy all the time. But if we really think about it, like The Boys is about it's Billy Butcher?
Billy Butcher.
Okay, so I did get it right. Okay, so like if we really think about The Boys, like the main character in the storyline is Homelander, even when he's not on screen. Like everybody's worried about him. So that in combination with just like, like he was just like pure evil, bro. like the way he would go switch up and talk to people, it was just like he had you on eggshells every episode. Anytime he was on screen, like they was even afraid to talk because he could hear him like typing. And it's just like, yo, like what if Superman wasn't Superman and that's Homelander? You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Beyond.
crazy, I know, crazy freaking performance. And just like, I don't know how you go there and a way to end the season, bro, because that was crazy. Because now Young is just with him and he just gonna go crazy, bro. He's gonna go crazy, man. So that was the most geeked actor. Let's get into the most geeked actress. So we said it was difficult to figure out who the most geeked actor was, right? But for the most geeked actress, we came to this conclusion pretty fast. But we're not gonna get straight into like who won, because that'd just be a disservice to all these great women that went crazy this year. And I think we should just get straight into the nominations, bro, because it's the women showed out this year, man. The actresses, and first things first, you gotta start out with House of the Dragons, Emmett Darcy, man. For me, she's a sleeper pick because like Rhaenyra is definitely the star of the show, but like in Game of Thrones, it's like about multiple characters. So depending on whose side you're really rocking with, I got green on today, but I'm with the blacks all day. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I just think like how different she was from when she was like the time skip from when she was a kid to how she is now, and like who she's going to be in the future. It was like, yo, like, nah, this is different. And then like the level she had to go to in her performance to make us believe what was happening. Like she walked up some stairs after giving birth. Like who does that, bro? Who does that? Like that's so crazy to me. And then we got Jenna Ortega, who was from Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? The Addams Family movie show on Netflix that's like then taken over the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like she went crazy in this joint. She really is Wednesday. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the eyes that really like make her character believable, but like she got that joint down to a T.
She got that scary actress vibe.
Yeah, and it's like the head tilt. like in the
Yeah.
picture right there. I'm like, yo, why are you looking like that? You know what I'm saying? But then we got Michelle from Everything All at Once, who, like, I didn't see this movie until like mad late, just because like they didn't show it near us, so you had to go out and see it. And then it didn't get on streaming for a little bit, and I just like procrastinated. But this was definitely worth the wait and worth the hype, bro, because that movie went crazy, from the action to the just storyline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just wild. I was like, bro,
It
what am
was
I
like
watching?
Marvel without being a Marvel thing. Like, I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
what's happening?
exactly. Then we got Viola Davis from The Woman King, who, like, top 5 movie this year. Viola Davis kills every role that she does, and she actually kills in this movie, so that was a plus. And it was just like, the level that she had to get her body to be able to do all the stuff that she did was very, very impressive. I always know what she gonna bring from, an acting standpoint, and she just played this role to a T, and it was a really good story, man. And then Zendaya, Euphoria, man. Recency bias, like, had, like, this was probably the last nominee that, like, came to my brain, just because, like, of when Euphoria came out. It was so long ago, but every episode it was trending. You know what I'm saying? Especially episode 5. That was like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
that was the episode, like, of the series, man, because it was just so good, bro. It was so good. But Chris, I've been talking for a little bit. What you got, man? I don't want to take over.
Whew. So these women did an amazing job
Yeah.
in all their shows and movies, and for sure, I think they all did really good in their roles. Way better
Yeah.
than the dudes
Facts.
at their roles.
Yeah.
But I was nervous on who you were gonna think was the best,
Mm-hmm.
and it was surprising that we both came to the same conclusion.
I was
So,
not expecting you to say that either. Yeah.
yeah, and to be honest, I think all of them. If it was like scattered between like last year, this year, I think they would win multiple times. Like
Right.
one would
Right.
win another year, one wouldn't. But man, to be in the same year,
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's good. And deep down, like Zendaya, she always kills it in Euphoria. Like she's very, very good in that type of role.
Yeah.
Um,
But we've seen it
and
before too, though.
but
Like,
we've seen it before. Yeah,
yeah.
that was like the only knock
Mhm.
that I could give her. But
Yeah. And it's just like, it was like undeniable. Like, it was just like, we got to put it there, because that joint was crazy.
yeah.
But I mean, like, go ahead and get into it, man.
All right, the most geeked actress goes to Jenna Ortega.
Oh, we finna get canceled.
Oh.
We finna get canceled, bro.
And I'd be nervous
man.
because deep down, I felt like you did.
Yeah.
After watching Wednesday,
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine another Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like one of those characters that you watched as a kid and you're like, oh, okay, cool. I know that Addams Family.
Mhm.
But now it's like whenever you think Addams Family,
Yeah.
you're gonna think Jenna Ortega.
Facts.
And whenever you think Wednesday, it looks like
Her.
that. Like, like there's no version to
Yeah.
me. Anyone in the future is gonna think of a different version of Wednesday than Jenna Ortega. And deep down, that's kind of what sold me on it.
Mhm.
And now I'm gonna pass it to you because that's what I thought, and then you kind of concurred, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not crazy," but the comment sections are getting kind of hot.
Yeah, well, the button is down a little bit, but it's just like, bro, it's like, it hurts, but it's just like, I can't deny it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, everybody on this list in the nominees did their thing, right? But when you have, like, a career-defining character, like, she's never going to be able to escape being Wednesday, no matter
She's
what.
not.
Like, and she's been in a lot of different stuff already. Like, she's been on a little run these last few years, man. And I just was really like, bro, like, no freaking way. I wasn't never a Addams Family fan. Like, I never really
Yeah.
watched it growing up. I just knew what it was. And going into this, like, everybody was sicing. I was like, bro, I don't know. Like, let me see. Let me see what this like talking about. And like, I love like characters like um, Wednesday or Rue from uh Euphoria because of like the whole narration aspect of it. Like, you give
Yeah.
me a good breakdown, I'm sold, bro. I'm sold. Like, break down the situation while it's happening. I love seeing that in shows and movies and stuff like that because it's just like we're a fly on the wall, but now we're experiencing it with the characters. So I think that's super fun. The mannerisms, like how everybody was just like it was like scratching nails on a chalkboard talking to her, and I was like, yo, I don't blame y'all, you know what I'm saying? And um the way like because the show Wednesday
It's
had
a
a lot to
success.
it had a lot to do with it as well, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because like it was one of those shows where I was like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Very true.
Nah, I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know what's gonna happen. What is going on? What is happening? I feel like Jim from The Office, like, because like a lot of times, like you was like have a prediction because it's like a mystery. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
have a prediction, and then it's like you get a bit of information, they throw you off the scent, and then it's like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm right. Nah, I'm wrong. Nah, I'm right. Like it was such a great like content loop or roller coaster, and then throughout that whole time you have Wednesday or Jenna Ortega, um, like narrating but also participating in creating the spectacle, and it was just like, bro, this I could stay here forever. Like I want 5 seasons of Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was
Like
so
I need the
freaking good.
entire school year.
Yeah. And it's like even like the stuff I wasn't expecting, like the dance, like that was good. And I was just like to be able to be serious while she was doing that, I don't know how she did it. Like it had to be one take, bro. Because it's like once you actually see it, it's just like no way you combine all those moves together. Like it's like a TikTok on crack. Like it was crazy, bro. It was crazy, but definitely well deserved. Um, Viola Davis, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but Jenna got it, man. Jenna got it. But let's get into the next award. The next award, man, is one that I feel like was a lot easier to come up with names, but a lot harder to choose. Like the supporting, I mean the most geek actor was difficult because I feel like all the actors that we would expect to be in that role were supporting characters this year.
Yeah.
And it was like, dang, like how do we pick? You know what I'm saying? So let's get into these nominations, man, because I just feel like we gotta start talking about it. We gotta get into it, bro, because this list is tough. This list is tough, bro. Tough, man. Chris, I'm gonna let you go with this one because I feel like I
I don't have the notes.
okay. I got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just name them off real quick. So first, we got Brian Tyree Henry, right, from
Yep.
Bullet Train. He was
And
Lennon.
many other stuff, but yeah, mainly Bullet Train.
Yeah, but yeah, we're focusing on that one because he Paperboy in Atlanta too, and that was great too. But Bullet Train was it. Bullet Train was it. So we got Brian Tyree Henry from Bullet Train. We got Christian Bale as Gore from Thor: Love and Thunder. Which, if you see Thor: Love and Thunder in anything, bruh, like that they had to go crazy, bruh, because that movie was trash. But we got Ki Hu Kwan. I think that's how you say it.
Nice.
From Everything All at Once. He went crazy.
You went crazy in that movie.
You're more of a fan of him than me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we'll get into that. Well, then we got Patty, man. Patty from House of the Dragon. As King Viserys, who had the performance of a lifetime in one of them episodes we'll get into. And then we got Pedro Pascal from a movie I feel like a lot of people didn't see, but was really good, which was let me see. I don't want to butcher it because it's a long name. The Unbearable Weight massive talent. I still mess it up, but it's all good. Uh, so Chris, I feel like you led the discussion in this one, just because, like, I feel like I got like two names on here that I like
Yeah.
brought to the table. Like you ain't gonna lead
Yeah, I
this
think
one.
I had the middle. I had all three in the middle.
Yeah.
This one to me, Gore's transformation
Mm-hmm.
is quite amazing.
Yeah.
It honestly felt like a different movie every time Gore was on, when Christian Bale was on the screen.
Yeah.
But man, now that I'm looking at this list, Viserys, that man put in work on
Yeah.
a lot of episodes.
He was
He
dying for
had me
years.
geeked multiple times being dumb. He had me geeked trying to go just for his family, trying to do what's best for the kingdom. Oh my gosh. And to me,
Yeah.
I do believe he had like one of those Oscar worthy moments. One of those
Yeah.
moments where I was like, this man is the king. Like,
Yeah. If we had a like a
man,
best performance, like a moment or whatever, he
yeah.
definitely probably would have had it, bro. But like
And
overall,
he plays multiple ages throughout the show. Like you said, all
yeah,
those time skips and time jumps
yeah,
throughout House of the Dragon, that
he's just decaying.
he's just the king, and you see a different version each time. And when he's dumb, when he's just caring about his family, you kind of
Yeah.
get a lot of the reasons why he's doing what he's doing. So I'm gonna give those two mega props because they're very, very unique.
Mm,
But what you
okay.
think about G?
Okay. I definitely think Christian Bale deserves to be up here for sure. I wasn't a super fan of the Key from Everything All at Once, just because like I didn't know what I was watching at first, but I was just like, he was just mad annoying at first. Like I just didn't get him. I just didn't get him. Like it's just one of those things that just didn't click for me. But I still like what he was able to do in there. And then Patty is like a grower. Like as the series went on, I started liking more and more. But like in the beginning, I couldn't stand him. You know what I'm saying? Pedro and his movie was like it's like a comedy action movie, which was like different. Like we haven't got one of those, I feel like, in a long time, where you just bring two actors together. And Nicolas Cage and Pedro, it's just like you couldn't get more random than that. You know what I'm saying? So I love that movie because it was like, I think it's just because I didn't have no expectations going into it. Like I wasn't expecting to laugh as hard as I did, and I was just like, Pedro is just the GOAT. Like he's just one of my favorite actors as well. And then Brian Tyree Henry in Bullet Train, like when I first initially saw him in it, I didn't think he was gonna have as big of a role as he did in the overall story, which was fun to see, because like, you know, that movie from a plot standpoint has holes for sure. If you go back and listen to it, me and Chris like debate for like 30 minutes talking about that. But like him as a character, really brought balance to like what was going on, and you know, kept us like I feel like he was us in that movie, like as far as like a fly on the wall, but like just like, yo, what is going on? Like what is happening? Like, you know, every reaction he has like something I feel like the audience will like resonate with. And he's just a really good actor, man. He can play anybody. But you know, I feel like this is probably like definitely a list of people that was like, dang, like if they was the main character, like it would have been way easier to make like best actor, like the actor category for the Geeked Awards, because I was just like, bro, like I don't know, like there's still so many people that we didn't even put on this list too, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that is just like a huge thing. And you know, I think the only thing left to do is to get out of the award, man. So the most geeked supporting actor goes to Christian Bale for the portrayal of Gore.
Oh, Gore.
Gore, the God Butcher, man. Like, bro, he got nerfed so bad, but
They did him
like,
dirty. He can't be that good of a supporting actor in such
man,
a mid movie.
that's what I'm saying. Like, he was going crazy from like a narrative standpoint, like all the lines he had, the way he interacted with the rest of the cast. Like, he really embodied that character. But the decisions they made, and how they decided to have him lose, or just like the decisions that they had, like going back and forth between the different dimensions and having conversations that just didn't need to happen. Like, it was just
Like
things that like made it worse, you know?
the tone, the two different tones when Gore's on the screen and when Thor's on the screen, it
Yeah,
really, really messes it up.
yeah,
And it deep down, it bothered me how cool Gore was. He's slaying all these gods,
yeah.
and
We needed more of
he's
that.
about to reach eternity. And it just felt like for me, like Thor had no worries about killing him, like
Yeah,
no worries on his adventure on defeating Gore. And I'm like, this dude seemed like he's the real deal. Like,
yeah. It
it,
felt gimmicky. Like the way
yeah,
Thor was on the screen, it didn't feel like Thor was really there.
yeah.
Like, and it was just
But
like, bro, like he can't be doing Christian Bale like that, bro. Like, you
yeah, but
can't.
Christian Bale's transformation to Gore,
Mhm.
it is incredible. This actor is just so good,
Yeah,
and man, do I wish we had more of like a serious tone movie when it came to Gore, and then maybe even him have a bigger effect on the Marvel universe from his movie,
yeah,
because he was really good.
yeah. And like the effects like of like the Dark Planet or the Dark World,
Mhm.
like we ain't never seen nothing like that before. And it
Yeah,
was just like so many opportunities for us to like really take it there. And it was
it's
like,
just
nah,
like you have the
it's a kids
actor
movie.
perfectly embody
Yeah.
the role, him do everything possible, and then everything surrounding that
Right.
perfect imagination of him
Yeah.
is trash. Like,
Right. And I feel like Chris Hemsworth like felt that after the fact. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, he like looking at the movie like, dang, Kristen went crazy. And they got me over here like in La La Land. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
La La
like,
Land.
like so it sucks that they wasted him on this movie, but you know,
But
who knows,
we
man.
ain't forget. We know you did good. We know
Yeah,
you did good.
that's facts. That's facts. So let's get into most geek supporting actress. Now we got to get into the supporting actress because there's some characters on here that I love to hate. So let's get right into it, man. All right, starting with the GOAT,
Ooh,
Angela Bassett, Queen Ramonda from Wakanda Forever, aka I don't know.
mommy.
Nah, nah. Whoa, whoa! I wasn't supposed to say that. And then we also got Julia Garner from Ozark. Uh, and then we got Kiki. Do you love me? It's like, nah, let me stop before we get copyrighted. We got Kiki Palmer from Nope. We got Margot Robbie from Amsterdam. And Margot Robbie been on a run too. She could have been there for multiple things. But and then lastly we got Olivia Cook from House of the Dragon. The character I hate the most. But I mean, what can we say about this list, man? A lot of great
It was a tough one.
performances.
Yeah.
A very difficult decision. Because Angela Bassett carried Black Panther.
She carried Black Panther, man.
Julia Garner carried Ozark. Kiki carried Nope. Margot Robbie, she didn't carry Amsterdam, but she was really
She didn't
good.
care.
She was
Just
still
did.
really good. And then Olivia Cook,
Allison.
Alicent. I hate her so much, bro. It's like I can't stand her, but she was so good. She was so freaking good, man. Chris, what you got? What you got, man? What you got?
It's a very tough list because on one hand we have, to me, someone who gave everything for Wakanda
Yeah,
forever.
yeah,
She really had to go into the bag and pull out some real tier emotional performances in that movie to
just
get
to
the
get
feels.
done dirty, man. Oh,
Yeah.
did her dirty.
And I think Kiki did quite a great job, an
Yeah,
amazing job in Nope.
yeah,
Like, she pretty much was all the charisma and personality in that movie, to be
Right,
honest.
right. She was the only yup in that movie. It's like,
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Allison because she be stirring the pot in that show,
yeah,
and deep down we saw it coming a mile away. She was gonna you know put her boy on the throne, try to put her boy take one for the team, even though she was like, oh no, she's my friend.
she be
Man,
capping, bro. She be
yeah, that's a
capping.
pot stir right there. So a great character, and I mean, to be
Yeah,
honest, she might as well be a main character, but she's supporting right now.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's
uh,
facts.
she's great in House of the Dragon.
Hmm. Hmm. So, you want to do it?
You want me to? Okay. The most geeked actress goes to
Kiki, do
Kiki.
you love me? Are you out here? Yes,
Oh man.
sir. Yes, sir. Kiki,
Okay,
man. Kiki
okay.
Palmer. Um, and congratulations. She just announced that she pregnant too. Shout outs to
Oh
you.
yeah. I forgot.
I know, snuck it out on us.
Mhm.
But nah, but like you said, she was the freaking goat of that movie, man. Like she
Yeah.
was all the personality, and like anytime we was looking for something, she gave it to us. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was a joke, whether it was like fear and emotion, or just
Aesthetics. Let's get out of here. I mean,
the fits, everything,
and
everything.
she even she finished out the movie too.
Facts, facts.
Yep.
So like I think this was well deserved and was probably like I feel like we came to this decision pretty easily, but it was still like hard because a lot of these character or a lot of these actresses definitely showed out in their movies. But I think it came down to like with Wakanda Forever, there was still other people in that movie that like had a bigger or had just as big of an impact.
Yep.
But like with Kiki and Nope, it was just like she was the movie, bro. Like Daniel Kaluuya is a
She
great
literally
actor.
supported him the entire time because his character was such a stoic dude that
Yeah,
Kiki is literally like
she had to do it.
carrying the movie. Like,
Yeah, literally. So, and then it just makes sense. And then with Olivia Cook, um, like she moves the plot, but like we just feel like you know, if we would go like scale to scale, like Kiki just did a lot more than a lot of these people to make regardless of how you feel about the movie. Nope, like the performance was just like you can't deny it. So she definitely deserves this, man. Let's get into the most geeked story, man, because this is one I feel like is difficult. All right, man. So this is a Geek the Wars original. You know,
mm,
you don't usually hear most geek story or best story as far as these award shows goes, but I feel like that is like a major part like of a movie or a show. You know what I'm saying? You got the characters, you got the world, and you got the story. Like, come on, those are three pillars, man. But as far as the nominations go for this, it's pretty similar to the
mm,
actual, you know what I'm saying, best
best
picture.
picture. Yeah.
Very similar, but we got one key difference, and that's Wakanda Forever, because it was a sequel to an impossible freaking question. Like, what do you do, bruh? Like in this situation, man. So, as y'all can see on the screen, we got Avatar, we got Wakanda, we got the Batman, the Woman King, and Top Gun. So, um,
Ah,
I know, right? I know.
man, story is as subjective as all these awards, but we're gonna have
Yeah,
to give it a go.
yeah. So, I mean, I feel like there's three sequels on here, right?
Yeah.
And two originals. With Avatar, they also did the impossible by giving us a
Yeah.
B side to a movie while also giving us a sequel. you know. Then we got Wakanda, who solved the question of like, okay, how do you replace your main character? You know what I'm saying? In a
Yep.
way that's not only subtle but is satisfying to the audience. Um, then you got the Batman, who is Batman year one or year two, and like you got this legacy character and trying to recreate a story that people have heard countless times.
Yep.
But you got these great characters involved in this overall mystery and world that you're developing. That was really good. Woman King, I already told you how many times I want to watch that joint. Story of mother and daughter, and also a story of like a warrior becoming a queen, and just like leadership, and it's just really good. You gotta watch it. And then Top Gun, Legacy. I'm gonna stop rapping, but I feel like if we have to like rank them, which we do because this is the Geeked Awards, bro.
It's the Geeked Awards. Most geeked.
It's gotta go. It's gotta go, man. It's gotta go. The winner. We gotta talk about it. The winner of the best story, the most geek story, bro. Y'all gonna hate me for this one, man. The Batman.
And I'm Batman.
Oh my gosh. I feel like this is the like
Controversial.
yes.
I like it.
Yes. Me too. Because it's also like recency bias with a lot more of these shows. I mean, a lot more of these movies. Because like this came out in the beginning of the year, bro. And it's like, yo.
And it's not really an origin story. He's
Yeah.
already the Batman.
Right.
And it feels so good that we get a new world, not an origin story, Batman to a series that, come on now, they pretty much done perfected Batman.
Right.
So now you got to redo it, and it came out good. It came out
like
good.
I had no hope for this movie when it came out. Like
we were walking into it, they're like,
I don't know about this. I don't know, right? Because it's like from like we understand it's gonna be like the detective Batman, right? Like we're getting more into that, right? So that's already
still
intrigue.
like real world type,
right?
Batman,
right? And then like you got a known antagonist in Scarecrow, but it's not like the Riddler. I'm sorry, the Riddler, where he's not like a combat heavy character. So you're not going to get it from that. So it's just like, what do you do, man? You build the world, you build the story around these key characters, and you start something that could go on for the rest of time. Like it was like they took a comic book, literally, and was like, let's do this. Like it's the most comic book esque like superhero movie we done got in a long time. That's like very, very reminiscent to that,
much more darker.
Yeah.
It is more like crime solvey, and to me, it's that story of the Batman. It's kind of weird. It's kind of similar to one of the Batman movies where it's like he's Batman of the city, but he's trying to become the Batman the city needs.
Right.
And
right.
While he is Batman,
he's Spear.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out like what Batman do I have to become the whole time to help everyone.
Yeah. To do what like my goal initially was, not just beat people up.
Yeah.
So
and come on, we know it's hard when it's the Riddler.
Yeah.
Like it is difficult, but overall, for like the first time in the Batman, to me, they built the world perfectly. They did the Selena Kyle thing perfectly. Yeah. We pretty much are right back on track with the Batman. Yeah. And if they really do go up here to, maybe a little bit more of the Penguin and maybe some actually the Joker, like we are in some serious trilogy area. Yeah. And I just think this is probably going to go down as one of the best beginning movies, because I don't want to say origin story. I'm trying to avoid that word completely.
Yeah, I know.
But like start to a trilogy that I've definitely seen. And as far as story goes, you can definitely rewatch this movie multiple times. It does have a good story. It has good characters,
Mm,
storylines in each of them. Riddler, Batman, Selena Kyle,
the Penguin,
the Penguin, even, and he's just like in like, I
Jim
mean, he's in there
Gordon.
like, in there, yeah.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot of people in this joint, but it's
the
like,
storylines for all the people
yeah,
are set up so well.
yeah.
I really don't have a lot of negatives when it comes to the movie.
Mm-hmm. Me neither.
Man, it's just kind of like maybe the ending could have been more spectacular, but overall,
Yeah,
it's very very good.
yeah. I agree. I agree. And it's one of those movies that like you go and see, but it's like I'm gonna watch this more. Like like I'm not going back
Yeah,
to the theater to watch it, but I'm going to watch it when it like comes out. But like with DC's still up in the air. Even though they showed out this year, like it's still up in the air because they're going through a whole rebuild right now with James Gunn. So we don't know what's gonna happen, honestly. But
it
I'm
just
hoping
feels
for
like I
more from
definitely
this
feel like
world.
they know what they're doing with the storyline in the Batman.
Yeah,
They know what they're doing in the future. And come
yeah,
on, to me, I was down on the Riddler and I was down on Robert Pattinson being the Batman.
hmm,
But it just goes to show you when you write a good story, when you build a good universe,
yeah.
anything is possible.
Oh my god.
Like,
All right, we gotta get into the next one after that one
yeah.
because that was crazy. So we talked about stories, we talked about actors, we talked
Mhm.
about best series and movie, but we haven't talked specifically about fights. Man, we love fights, and we got to get into these nominees for best and geeked fight. What had you the most geeked, man? Because there's a lot of like with our show, man, like we definitely have a type, like a movie. Like we do get out there and see different types of movies, but a lot of
Some
times,
casual
yeah,
movie.
yeah, we here for the square up though. Like you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like that's what really gets us going. So this is the list for most geek fight, and I think it's like the most competitive list out of like all of them.
Yeah.
Just because like Bullet Train had great combat, a lot of slow mo. It was really dope to see, and everybody on there was like just an expert at what they do, And we got different levels of like what people do in there. We got people that fight with knives. We got people fight with the hands, swords, anything you could ask for. They was fighting with a freaking briefcase in that joint, you know. And then obviously everything all at once, man. It's like what we talking about, bro? Like
You got all types of fighting in that thing.
that's what I'm saying. Like it was like
You got fanny pack fighting too.
you got freaking hot dog hand fighting, bro. Like it's
Yep.
crazy. It's crazy. Like it was so many things in there, and it was just like, everybody got hands. Like, and
Yeah.
it was so fun. It was such a fun. Like that was like more of like a fun type of fighting. You know what I'm
Fun,
saying?
creative way to make everyone super, super powered.
Right. And then you got Batman that's just beating people down.
Yeah.
You
It's more
know.
brutal.
And then like Woman King was like, I feel like the most like movie standard type of fights. Like I didn't see
Mhm.
anything different in that joint. And like Northman was like, I don't know. You talk about Northman because
That's some raw fighting.
yeah,
That
I don't know how to describe it.
I remember when he done had the spear and like, oh, and then it's just weird. The Northman to me fighting is like, it's like raw savagery, like
Yeah,
some Kratos level stuff when they're fighting. I'm like,
yeah,
like they're done.
yeah.
Like it make it seem so easy. He'd be like,
Like he
and
was
then
just moving.
yeah, and then in the very end, it's just so
Oh, you talking about the lava, the
the lava.
volcano?
Yeah,
That
it's
was
cutting
crazy.
off limbs, and he's like has one arm. It's just so raw. It
Yeah,
is like you grab some beer, you chug it down, ugga 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 ugga. Like
right.
so, the Northman is it literally has that Viking
Yeah,
feel to it. It's just
yeah,
so it just feels so real. Like if you lived in that world, this is how
right,
savagery would look like. They
right.
they went crazy.
It's very reminiscent to Vinland Saga, the anime, And I told everybody to watch it after that. I don't know if everybody watched it yet, but The Northman was definitely going crazy because it was like you had those scenes, but then you also had like scenes that was very like opposite of that. Like that was just like silent and just quiet and soft, and it was just like it's a crazy movie. That's probably the wildest movie we done seen. Like from just like
It's crazy.
What are we watching type thing. Like
Yeah.
like rest of these movies, like we knew what we were getting into when we were going to watch it. But The Northman, it's like we knew we were going to get action and fighting, but we didn't know like all the other stuff that's like in that movie. That's a spectacle and like the Norse mythology and all the other stuff that go into it and Valhalla and stuff. Like it was crazy. It was crazy, man. So the award for most geek fight goes to Everything All at Once, man. It's like, bro, look at the freaking poster, bro. They already ready to square up in that joint. You know what I'm saying?
And what's crazy about this is when I first saw it, I didn't even know like
what it was gonna
what
be.
it was about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they started going crazy, I was like,
Yeah.
what am I watching for real? Like,
Right.
this thing is crazy. Like, it's kind of like I'm on my phone, like, all right. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
hold up,
Yeah.
something happening.
Because the story itself is very like, you know what's finna happen, you know, and it was just like the journey. Like it was all about the journey to get to that point, you know, and I was just wondering, like, bro, the level of choreography of like no name individuals that was not no name in disrespectful way, but like their characters didn't have a name in it, and it was just squaring up at every single moment, and you kept seeing them throughout the movie, and then like in the final joint, everybody was there. It was like a Royal Rumble. Yeah. It was crazy, bro.
It was like a real rumble, and it's like these characters, no one would just be like, oh, these are the people that can fight hella good. Like, it's not a thing. And then all of a sudden they start squaring up. You're like,
yeah,
what am I watching?
Because it's like, it's similar to the Matrix where they kind of just like download a skill, but it's like them from a different universe. So like the main character, like, yes, she would have kung fu powers, right? But then she would just tap into like a different aspect of it. It's like combining the Matrix with like Jackie Chan Adventures with the freaking talismans. Like, and you have the rabbit and you got the tortoise, and like give you different powers and stuff like that. But it was just
I hope everyone can get that reference, man. I feel real weird.
But you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you don't know, look it up. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's just like, you know, that, and then like it'll be like one's a dancer, and then one is kung fu master, and then one is a pole vaulter, like just random stuff, you know, that she's able to tap into.
What would they actually use that would help them in that situation? And it's just so creative way to do fighting, so creative to have these types of fight scenes.
Yeah. And literally,
it's such a unique.
The possibilities are endless, and it was so funny the way that she had to tap into everything, like because it was just random things, like from taking a piece of from taking a piece of gum off the bottom of a desk to like making funny faces to breaking your nose or something crazy like that. Like, it's just, that movie was wild, bro. That movie was wild, man. Well, let's get into the next award because I could keep talking about this all day. So we've been talking fights. We've been talking actresses and actors, man. The next award is visual effects, man. Most geek visual effects. And we finally got some Marvel here. Two Marvel. This is where Marvel stands out. You know what I'm saying?
That's where they put the money too. Okay.
Right. Not to the stores, but definitely on the visuals, man. So as y'all can see, Avatar just being everything, bro. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Dirty Sprite 2, if you're talking to me. We got Everything All at Once. We just talked about that, which is something that like I wouldn't think initially would be in this section, but they do have a lot of effects in that joint. Jurassic World, they got dinosaurs. And then Thor Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder. It's Marvel's all about the spectacle, man. It's all about the spectacle. So Chris, I'm gonna let you go through these real quick because I feel like this is pretty simple.
You know what? To be honest, Thor: Love and Thunder looks very, very good. It is
Yeah.
a very good looking movie. I
Facts.
kind of hate the fact that they decided to go with that very vibrant looking
Mm-hmm.
overall tone because when Gore's on it, it's much more serious.
Yeah.
But as like the entire movie, if you're just looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
it looks great.
Yeah.
It really does. So I'll give it some credit there because
Mm-hmm.
it ain't getting anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I think everything, everywhere, all at once. It doesn't seem like that type of movie, but when the special effects are going, and it's really up there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang, they could really do a lot with this.
Yeah.
Um, and Jurassic World, it does look good. They do have dinosaurs, and let's be honest, them dinosaurs ain't real. And all dinosaurs do a good job throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you believe that they're actually fighting dinosaurs, and
Right.
it's good to see that CGI and stuff like that is
They done
finally here
mastered
to
it.
the point where they mastered it.
Yeah. And then obviously Avatar. We done talked about it. The roof was dripping.
What about Dirty Sprite 2?
Dirty Sprite 2, man. That's my movie right there. I love that movie. It's even though it didn't really end up on none of the other lists, just because I feel like bar for bar, it's hard to put it up there. But the whole horror movie aspect that they added to this movie with Wanda really set the tone for like, oh, this is something that they can do. Because we're used to seeing not necessarily like the backgrounds as far as like what like the dark world and stuff and Thor: Love and Thunder and how they chose to use color in there, but just like the spectacle of seeing Thor fly around and do everything, and Doctor Strange, it's like you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times, but Wanda when she's awoken is different. Scarlet Witch can do anything, bro, and I never forget what she did to my man Professor X, bro. That was the most vicious thing I ever seen from Marvel, bro. Like it was crazy.
Like the only bad special effect in that movie,
yeah,
is that third eye. That third
yeah.
eye.
Oh, it was the last thing.
They ran out of money on that last thing, but overall,
Yeah,
that movie looks great. The star punches through realities
yeah.
or different universes or realities. I don't know what it is. It's something.
Mm-hmm.
It looks incredible.
Yeah,
A lot of that. Even the little corny note scene. It
right,
looks great. It looks so
right.
good.
But I feel like the third eye, the initial third eye of the
Yeah, it
evil
looks fun.
Doctor Strange was good, but the last one was real bad. It was real bad, bro.
I mean, when they're in that different dimension with the little book of
The Darkhold.
yeah,
Oh no!
whatever it is.
Oh, not the Darkhold. The other one.
Ashanti. Book of Ashanti.
Yeah.
Vashanti, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
It the movie looks very good. It does
Yeah.
seem like peak Marvel,
Yeah.
and I'm glad it made some award because it deserves something.
Mm-hmm. And the way Wanda was moving was crazy.
Yeah,
It was crazy, bro. So you ain't get into the winner, man.
all right. The most geeked visual effects goes to. Come on, it's gotta be Avatar. We didn't even have to talk about it. This movie looks crazy. I don't even know. It looks so good. To be honest, I must not be living in reality because ain't no way a
Facts.
water be looking like that.
Facts.
The things they do in this movie is so confusing.
Yeah.
What's real, what's fake? I need a breakdown of how they did this because everything looks so believable. The guns, the firing, the shoot, the gunshots looks more real
Yeah.
than real life. It's so ridiculous. Fire effects, creature effects. Every creature looks real.
Yeah.
Gee, what you gotta say about it? This got me so geeked when I saw it.
For me, it was more so like when I was seeing them interact with stuff that humans interact with. That's when I was like, oh, okay, nah, this is different because it was throwing me off initially when the movie started because that's when we saw the most of the humans. I feel like, other than the ending, because I was just like, yo, why does it look like this? Like when they're by themselves and like just interacting with the environment as Navi, and it's just like the picture on the right, it looks like completely regular. But when you add humans in, I'm like, oh man, this looks better than real life. Like it was like,
Yeah,
it was so crazy. And then like we said this like 50 million times already, but when the whale was dripping, like I was like, dang, me wipe my leg off because it's like, bro, what is
Most
going on,
realistic feeling I've ever had in a movie.
bro? It's crazy. It was crazy the way they do 3D, and it took 13 years for them to create the technology. You
Yeah,
know, like, and now we're
and
finna get them joints
boosted.
back to back to back. Like, I'm so excited for what's to come with Avatar, bro, because that joint is ridiculous, man. I mean, we don't talk about Avatar so much in the Geeked
Most deserving.
Awards, but like it's just easy win. But let's get into the next award. So Chris, man, we didn't talk about the visual effects. We ain't talk about cinematography though, and I feel like these two kind of go hand in hand, but some
For sure,
things
for
are
sure.
definitely different than others. So let's
Yeah.
get right into it, man. These are the nominations for most geeked cinematography. And of course, Avatar's there. Of course, right? But we got Bullet Train, Slow Mo King, Nope. The movie sucks, but the way it looked was amazing, bro. It was amazing. And we'll get a little bit into that. The Batman is really good as well. And then Top Gun, they use real planes in that joint, which is really, really cool. Now, the one I kind of want, we didn't talk enough about Avatar, so y'all know how we feel about that. Bullet Train, I think it's a sleeper for this list just because, like, the way that they shot the fight scenes, I feel like is what really takes this over the top. And then that in combination with how they lit it, like the lighting was very, very key because every character had its own theme. And that was like one of the things about that movie is that there was not retelling, but telling each character's story in their background while you were getting introduced to them and while they were basically fighting. So you got that answer, and then why they're here in the same moment, and it was just like a really, really fun content loop with like just how crazy the actual fights was because like the whole movie happens on a train, and I think that says volumes. You know what I'm saying? Like to be in one space and make it look different that many times, it's like you did something crazy right there. And then I just want to talk about Nope real quick, and then you just can talk about the rest of them because Nope, the way that they was able to light up melanated people at night is different, bro. Like I ain't never seen nothing like that, and I watched a video basically explaining it. So the way they did it was basically surprisingly they shot during the day, but then overlaid that with another version of it where it was like the nighttime aesthetic. So you were able to see, Daniel Kalula at night and be able to see his eyeballs and still get the full effect of what you were watching. Right. So whereas like I feel like, Nope has a really good cinematography, like whereas, Avatar just won visual effects, like I feel like the visual effects didn't necessarily live up to what they was able to shoot from the camera itself. So like, it's here on this list, but like a lot of these movies can go back and forth between those two. This is probably like the most tied award, but Chris, you can go in on the rest of them, Batman and Top Gun, because
For sure on the Batman, I think the movie is shot pretty much perfectly.
yeah.
I think the sneak up scenes, the dark scenes where someone's lurking in the background is shot really well. The cars scenes, the
Mm-hmm.
investigating scenes also are shot very good where it's like, to be honest, it's like you go from action to sneaky stuff to investigative stuff. All of
Yeah.
them feel like they're in that genre movie, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all blended seamlessly. Even the nightclub fight scenes and nightclub scene was very, very good because we had like multiple of them.
Yeah.
But the camera work in it is very, very good. It's pretty much top quality to me.
The opening
Top Gun,
itself was crazy,
yeah.
establishing that
Top
fear.
Gun to me is without a doubt incredible just because like they actually shot that with real life airplanes.
Yeah.
And I really wish I would have saw it in IMAX, but the extreme screen was well enough that it looks incredible. And
Yeah.
seeing the planes break left and right looked so good.
Like
And
you felt the G-force, bro. Like it was crazy.
Maybe one day if we get them seats that could do something like that, oh, I'd be going crazy. But overall, that movie looks very good, and even that final scene where it's like more misty on the actual mission, and
Yeah.
then they go into the assault. It was so dope to like actually see how the rockets fly off into the distance. They explode, and the planes aren't even there yet, and then they arrive, and it's like straight combat. It's incredible. I really loved the cinematography work when it comes to the planes and
Yeah.
Maverick.
Yeah.
But what's this award gonna go to?
All right, man. So the most geek cinematography award goes to none other than Nope, bruh. It's the only award they could ever win. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. But I feel like they did something that is just new. Like you don't really see that often, and it was just a different approach to lighting, and like it's something that like in Hollywood, like they've talked about all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do we light up black people to make them, more like, I don't want to say aesthetic or like visually pleasing, but like as far as like how you shoot them is different. You know what I'm saying? You need different lighting to get the same effects, right? Just like you don't want somebody to get washed out. You know what I'm saying? So like just the way that they broke down, like when I was watching, I was like, bro, how are they shooting this at night? And like when I found out that it wasn't, I was like, bro, ain't no way. Like ain't no way they did that. But it makes complete sense once you get down to it. But that, and just like the camera just seemed different too. Like, you know what I'm saying, versus like other movies that we done seen. So Jordan Peele is definitely a genius when it comes to that. And then like, the movie itself, I can't really say too many good things other than Kiki was amazing. But like just, that feat alone really spoke volumes for me personally. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with you. All the night scenes look incredible, and
Yeah.
they have that really amazing horror scene where the mothership, the monster was over the house and it's dripping blood onto that
Oh
house.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
that scene is quite incredible,
Yeah.
and it really is one of those like horror iconic moments that I just wish was a little bit more
Right.
horrifying, like more
Yeah.
like just
Gruesome.
more. But
Yeah.
the visual of it, and when it's like completely dark and then the lightning shows everything, it
Yeah.
just looks beautiful. And then when we finally see the monster reveal, the creature reveal, I
Mhm.
mean, to be honest, all the scenes when the creature came aboard was like spectacular. I was like,
Mhm.
wow. Uh, Even the way it was floating through the air, like gliding through the air, I was like, dang, this thing's kind of scary if it's real.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, I definitely could see it. And as much as I like Avatar cinematography, Nope is top tier
Yeah.
cinematography without a doubt.
Yeah. If it's gonna win any award, it's definitely this one.
Yeah, 1,000% agree.
Thanks. But let's get into the next one, man. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all if y'all have made it to this moment, man, because this is the last Geeked award for this year, man, and it's none other than the most geeked animated film. So this is something that like is like few and far between, because there's not like a lot of great animated films that come out every year like that, we all see, because it's just like, you know like some of these is just like, I was just like, I don't got nothing to watch, so I'm watching it, you know what I'm saying? But others I didn't even watch. So definitely like easy win, like to put for the nominations is like Lightyear. Like Pixar is always gonna do something amazing. um Sonic is kind of a hybrid just because of like the way they chose it. There are it's based in IRL, but the characters are animated, which is really cool. Turning Red is one that I saw like because I was watching like a documentary on Disney Plus on how they made it. I love watching like how they made, Turning Red, or how they
Yeah.
made like all this other stuff. 'Cause I just think that's interesting. I love that section on Disney Plus. Um, And then Intergalactic is Kid Cudi's movie that was initially supposed to be a show, but they put it all into one movie, and I think it's really good. Like it was like it's the epitome of like a Netflix and chill movie, but it's also like a movie I will like watch over and over and over again, like anytime. Like you need something to watch on Netflix, boom, got it. You know what I'm saying? Chris, I'll let you talk about Pinocchio because I personally didn't watch that junk.
Hey, Pinocchio goes crazy. That movie is so good. It's just so weird. It has a little bit of some song like sing
Like a
along type
musical,
thing,
yeah.
like musical things. That's the word. But overall, the story is good. It's very impactful. The animation is very, very great. It's kind of crazy. Uh, because the real world characters in it, I was like, dang, is this for kids?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Is this thing for kids? Definitely no. It's definitely for like the story of Pinocchio. Let's see like a adult version of it.
Yeah.
It's really good. Very enjoyable like viewing.
Mm.
If you want to get brushed up on Pinocchio, it's definitely a must see.
Yeah, I just never felt like I needed to get brushed up on
Yeah.
Pinocchio.
It, it,
That's
it,
a great way to put
it,
it.
yeah. I would definitely watch that Pinocchio over a normal Pinocchio is like a kid one.
But why did they drop two though? Like I
'Cause
don't I
yeah, this one was like Netflix,
yeah,
Guillermo del Toro's version, I think,
right.
and then they had like a Disney one because they tried to
Yeah.
capitalize on it. But I was like,
It
so
was
one's
like
bad. This is the good one,
yeah,
and
they was like, "Oh, you think you gonna get one out on us? Nah. We're coming right back."
this one's just like creative, and I really admire
Mhm.
them for doing that one because
Yeah.
I don't want like the kiddie stuff. I want to see something new, and that was nice.
Mhm.
I mean, look at Pinocchio. What the heck?
I know. That's a strange looking Pinocchio.
Yeah,
Like group. But
exactly.
I think Lightyear was like really like a fun movie to watch just because like the nostalgia factor and it looked
Yeah.
amazing. And then it got Chris Evans in it, was like a perfect like transition from being Captain America to being Buzz Lightyear. And there's like plenty of Easter eggs from like the OG Toy Story movies that pop up in this, which is really fun. And it just looks like really, really good. Like
Mhm.
it's like Avatar level, like looking good, but like it's not real type thing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's good. It's good. And then Intergalactic, the animation is really fun because it's more of like it reminds me of the Miles Morales Spider-Man movie, the way it's animated, because it's like you see the frame rate, but like over time, like they just show you different levels of it, and like it's a love story. You know what I'm saying? That's always fun to watch, because it's like the replayability of it is really really good, and it got like the cameos in that joint is crazy. It's a lot of people that are in this movie. So, for the most geeked animated award, it's gotta go to none other than Intergalactic, bro. Intergalactic, from the soundtrack to the animation style to the story, Black Love wins. Oh man. Kid Cudi went crazy on this one. I don't know who else was like necessarily involved. I love the animation studio that they used for this because it's very colorful, but also like the main character is very very drippy. Like he got the drip, bro, and it's really cool because like his character is also like a comic book artist in a sense. So it's like art on art. It's really really cool, man. Got like Ty Dolla Sign in it. Whole bunch of other people that I can't name by name, but I know what they look like in real life. Uh, but it's like as far as like if I was like to suggest any movie right now, this would be one of them for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like especially if you like in a rut on Netflix, which Netflix been dropping heat. But if you just need something, like I'll just watch this on a random weekend, like you know what I'm saying, and just put it on. Like it's really really good. You know what I'm saying? Did you get a chance to see this one, Chris?
I did not get to see this one, but I didn't
Yes.
get to see Lightyear either. So
Yeah.
definitely gotta check it out then.
And it's just like we said earlier, man, like we don't get to see everything. Like we don't always go to the movies and see everything together, or like stuff
Yep.
that ends up on streaming. But like through the conversation of like coming up with the nominations, this one is just better. It's just better. Completely. But you know, that's pretty much it, y'all. That was the Geeked Awards. We got some honorable mentions to mention before we get out of here. This is where all the scary stuff was, because I don't like
Oh
scary
yeah.
stuff. I don't like scary stuff. So we got Smile, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which you saw earlier with Pedro Pascal. Hustle is a movie on Netflix with Adam Sandler. Barbarians, another scary movie. I might watch that one just because I just might watch it. I'm not watching Smile though. I'm not doing that. And then we got Obi-Wan
Yes.
as well. So there's still plenty of stuff that we didn't mention. Let us know in the comments, you know, what you guys think should have won or what should have been included. This is the last show of the year. And then the next one will probably be a scary movie, which was Megan. That's the most recent thing that comes out. So definitely be looking out on YouTube and everything. We're gonna be dropping clips throughout that time. So we're back on another year, bro. This is like we've been doing this for like 6 months together. But
Yep.
like this is first year we starting off and we finna go crazy. We appreciate y'all for tuning in every single week, man. And even the weeks when we not there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because life does happen sometimes, you know. So definitely appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Chris, for joining the squad.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this has been the Geeked Award, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this. This is this is probably like going to be the most edited podcast that we do, because usually it's just like free flowing conversation. But hopefully y'all enjoy not only just the audio version of this, but the visuals as well on YouTube, man, because you know it's gonna be a lot putting this together. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate y'all once again. Chris, you got any final words for the year, man?
Hey, 2022 was good. Why I'm geeked all year long has been great, and 2023 is right around the corner. So we gonna stay geeked in 2023.
Facts.
That's all from me.
Facts. That's facts. All right, man. So if you're listening to this on your favorite audio platforms, please hit that like button, rate the podcast, leave a comment. And if you're listening to this on any of our other social platforms, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, it's Why I'm Geeked everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It really helps us out and allows us to reach more people. Just, you know, subscribe, hit the follow button. Y'all know what to do, man. We appreciate y'all once again. Like, I can't tell y'all how much we appreciate y'all, bro, because this is so fun to do every week, bro. It's so much fun. But we gonna catch y'all next week, man. Stay geeked. See y'all 2023.
Later, y'all.